Hey y'all, Rajava the Ruler, and we back with part 2 of my Q&A. Now, I did not mean to cut it off like that. I was gonna put it all in one video, but it's like super long, and I know these days our attention span is about this big. So I decided to do a part 2. Okay, so in the last video, we stopped off with a great question. So we're gonna jump right back into it. Why make y'all wait? It's from Kayla Williams, 5951, and her question is, do you think the justice system sets felons up for failure after being released? If so, what would you change so that the rate of people returning to prison after being released is lower? Now, the rate of people returning to prison is recidivism. So when you hear about the recidivism rate, that's basically people who have been to prison, get out and go back. So the recidivism rate is extremely high. Now, is that because people just don't want to change? People are just criminals by nature? People just like committing crimes? People just like going back to prison? I would like to think not. I was in prison and I was around these people. There are a lot of people, when they do recidivize and come back, listen, I'm talking about they be shamed, their head be down, they don't want to talk, they don't want to look at people. Like, it is very depressing to see somebody come back, and it is horrible for them when they come back. The officers talk about them like a dog, like, oh yeah, you like to come back, you like being here, you know what I'm saying? Anything that happens to them, people are like, oh well, you should have stayed home. So the people who come back to prison, they like, yes, I came back to where I wanted to be. Do I feel like the justice system sets felons up for failure? 100%. 100%. I do feel like they set you up for failure, but I also feel like 100% it's up to you. Like, I can put as many obstacles in your way as I want to. It's up to you if you allow those obstacles to get the best of you. As far as why I feel like the system sets felons up for failure, for so many reasons. I told y'all about how hard it was for me to find somewhere to stay. And yes, I do understand that people are like, well, I don't even have a record and it's hard for me to find somewhere to stay. Imagine it being hard for you not having a record to find somewhere to stay and then putting a record on top of it. Okay, so it may be hard for you, but it's harder for someone with a record. So if your difficulty level is a 7, having a record is going to make that a 9 or a 10. So it's like, it's hard to find somewhere to stay. It's hard to find a good job. And I know, once again, you say, I don't have a record and it's hard for me to find a job. It's harder for people who have a record. So if you don't have a record and it's difficult for you, it's harder for someone who has a record. Okay, so it's hard to find housing, it's hard to find a job, it's hard to get anything. So when you come out, you have no money, $0 and 0 cents, unless you go to work release. I came home with this many dollars. Okay, so I had to work and bust my behind. No normal person wants to work 2 jobs 7 days a week for a year and a half straight. Record or no record. Nobody wants to do that. The average person doesn't even want to go to work. But I had to do that because I had to find money. I had to be able to take care of myself. I had to pay my probation fees. I had to do these things. I had to pay my rent at the transition house. So I had to work that way. A lot of people are not willing to do that. And it's not just because they're lazy. Like, at least I don't want to call them lazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of people not willing to do that. It takes a lot out of you. It was so many days, like, I had mental breakdowns plenty of times because I was running so much that when I did stop, I went to the next task. So I was neglecting my mental health. I was neglecting how I was feeling. Like, I used to be so tired that I'm talking about I would shower and lay down and be asleep. So it's not impossible, but I do feel like they set you up and make it worse. You already got society that feels like you a liar, you a thief, you can't be trusted if you go to prison. Like, it's people that be in the comments on my videos talking about, oh, I can't believe you because you're a convicted felon. Like, I lied more as a law-abiding citizen than I do now. Like, the person I am now, I would trust. The person I was before I went to prison when I had no record, I wouldn't trust that person. Like, but I do feel like they make it harder. And what can we do? I feel like we should spend more money in rehabilitation programs and getting counseling. So instead of sending people to prison and wasting all of our money to put people in prison, because prison is just a house. Like, they just house people there. What are they gonna learn? You have very few people who will be like, you know what, I hate being confined to this room, let me learn. See what the root of the problem is so that you can fix that problem and keep it from happening. But you have the government who they just house you over there and hope you get better. There needs to be more money for people who have substance abuse problems. There needs to be more places for people who have mental health issues. So that's why the recidivism rate is so high. Next, we have Amy Young 101. Might be too much of an ex, but why were you so angry as a kid? What was the root of your pain? I was angry because I was raised in a dysfunctional household. I was raised in a household where I did not learn how to process my feelings and emotions. And I was raised in a household with selfish, emotional people. So the people who I was raised in the house with, everybody was selfish when it came to their emotions. They weren't wrong. It wasn't their fault. I'm not saying sorry. It's not me, it's you. I taught myself. And as a child, you can't teach yourself how to process. So you tend to go down the wrong path, okay? Next is Jasmine Strong 5767. What are some things the criminal justice system can improve on from an inmate perspective? What helped you overcome the time spent incarcerated? What is this chapter of your life called? What can we expect from you in 2023? Now, as far as what the criminal justice system can improve on, I touched that in Kayla, I think that was her name, and Kayla's question. The other question, what helped you overcome the time spent incarcerated? God was the biggest part of why I came home Rajava 2.0. Okay, my relationship with God and allowing him to dig down in the root and pull it up and heal me, like I was gracefully broken. Okay, I was gracefully broken and he fixed me. I also spent majority of my time reading. I read more than, oh my goodness, like I've read so many books. So reading and dealing with my relationship with God was the two best things I could have done with my time. And it says, what is this chapter of your life called? This chapter of my life is called, I'm gonna make them wish they treated me better. So the people who wronged me, cast me to the side, threw me away, this chapter of my life is called, I'm gonna make them wish they treated me better, period. And it says, what can we expect from you in 2023? I think I'm gonna be on TV this year. And that ain't just me capping. I think I'm gonna be on TV. So y'all can expect for me to be on TV. Okay. But you can expect, I'm trying to start me a clothing line for one. I do expect to be on TV, like for real, that ain't just cap. And I also expect to finish my book this year. So that's what you can expect from me in 2023. All right, next we have Courtney J 4050. What were your dreams like inside? Did you wake up and forget you were in prison? Girl, never. I never woke up and forgot where I was. Never. I woke up miserable that I was still there, wishing that it was a dream, but I never woke up and forgot I was in prison. Plenty of times I've had dreams that were so vivid, like I thought that I was home and free and woke up there just miserable. And sometimes I feel like this is a dream. Like I'm dreaming that I'm home free and doing so good because my life feels like a dream. Like I ain't no millionaire. I ain't, driving no Bugatti or no Lamborghini, but my life is going so good that it just seems like something I laid on my bunk in prison and dreamed about. And if I'm asleep, please don't wake me. Don't wake me to my EOS state. And the EOS is end of sentence. Okay, so if I am asleep in prison, don't wake me. Let me sleep. Let me sleep. Next question, we got Becky 2Ks 700. What's the best way to assist a family member who has recently been released from prison? Great question. So for me, the best way I feel like I could have been assisted when I first came home was anything you can give them. And I know it's like, oh, it's always about material, it's always about money. It's not. It's not like I'm saying some random person just go give them something. I'm saying somebody who, when you give them what you give them, they 100% need it. So it can be the simplest thing, like a flat iron, a blow dryer, shampoo and conditioner. Like you can get them some lotion. You can get them some panties or some boxers, like some t-shirts, some bras. It don't even have to be like clothes where it's like name brand purses and name brand clothes and some J's. Like they might ask you for that type of stuff, but if you really just want to help them, like the biggest help I got was my cousin And my cousin sent me a hygiene box, and I'm talking about set me straight, mailed it to my house, set me straight. It had everything I needed: combs, grease, deodorant, lotions. Like, I'm talking about, I was so grateful for that box, because hygiene is expensive. Okay, hygiene is expensive. Why? I have no idea, but it is. So that box he sent me, like, helped me out so much, more than any money somebody could have sent me, like, more than anything a person could have gave you, like, was that box of hygiene. And it was also this girl that I didn't even know. She's from where I'm from. I didn't know her, but she knew of me. You know, she didn't know me either. She knew of me, and she knew I came home. And she reached out to me on Facebook, and she was like, hey, you know, what's your address? I would like to send you some stuff. So I'm like, I don't know this girl. So I was like, but I gave it to her. Like, I was too broke to be proud for, like, oh no, girl, don't send me nothing. I don't know you, I don't want your stuff. But I gave her my address, and she sent me a box with flat irons in it. She sent me, it had a shower cap in it. And I'm talking about a nice shower cap. I still have that shower cap to this day. Okay, still got that flat iron to this day. As a matter of fact, I used that flat iron before I came and got on this video. What else was in there? She had a coffee mug that was in there, a thermal mug too. Now, if y'all see my video about my Christmas gift, I'll tell y'all what a thermal mug does. And it's because of her that I am in love with a thermal mug. And it was others, it was a journal in there. I still have that journal, and I write in it. And it was some other stuff in there, but it was so thoughtful, the stuff she sent me. It was like so random, but everything in that box I needed, because I didn't have. So I recommend getting them a box of, like, necessities. You don't got to go spend a whole bunch of money. It don't matter if you go spend $20 at the dollar store, baby. Get them some stuff. All right, and then we have the Dawn M 3962. Do you consider yourself having a family one day and being married? Yes, I do. I always dreamed about, I caught baby fever so bad when I was in prison. Like, seeing the little commercials, it's just like, oh, baby. You know, seeing the little commercials and seeing all the little ads and stuff in magazines. I was like, I want one, you know, little cute one. So yes, I do want a family. Yes, I do. I want a family, and I want to be married. Now, do I want to rush it? Do I want it to happen tomorrow? No, I am currently seeing someone finally. This is the third person I've dated since I've been home, and I'm happy. So I'm gonna try to get him on the channel so y'all can see him, but he don't like cameras. He don't like social media. I'm trying. I was like, you gonna come get on the camera? He was like, I'm gonna put on a mask. They don't want to see you in a mask. Like, take the mask off. So I'm gonna try, but we may be able to get him with a mask on, y'all. I gotta respect people's boundaries, you know. Just because I get on this camera and put my life out there, I can't expect for people to feel the same way. So, but we gonna try. All right, we got quite a few. Next, we have Brian. Oh, sorry. We have Brianna L. Sir. What do you think life would be like if you had not gone to prison? I try not to think about that, because it just I feel like things like that just put bad vibes and thoughts and puts you in a bad mood. So I try not to think about it like that. But honestly, if I sit and I think about what my life would look like, if not think it'll look worse, I don't think it would look better. I honestly do not think my life would look better than it looks right now had I not gone to prison. So I do miss the years that I lost and the fact that I had to go to prison, but I do not feel like I lost much besides the time I was in prison. I was so, like, out of there that I didn't have any plan for the future goals. Like, I was only living for the moment. I was too worried about, like, what we doing this weekend. Like, I wasn't worried about next year. I don't want to work for nobody, you know? So I don't feel like my life would have been better. So I don't think I'm missing too much. We have Nancy Davis 5070. Are you dating? Are you now closer to your family? I am dating, and I am not closer to my family. Like, no. Okay, so Brittany 6711. Have you accustomed to living out here yet? It must be very different since you were locked up for so long. I already kind of touched on that. It was hard trying to, like, adapt out here all over again. I still struggle with it. Sometimes I still act like I'm in prison. I'm not even gonna try to say this name. I'm just gonna post it up there because, honey, you know you're wrong. You ever had to do any time in the hole? If so, how long? I was in lock a lot. The longest I did in lock was 34 days straight, I think it was. I had 12 DRs and I was in lock like 7 times. So, for various reasons. One time I got locked under gang investigation. I've never been a part of a gang. I've never gang banged. I don't know no gang signs. Like, I have never been a gang member, but I was locked in confinement under gang affiliation because of my co-defendant. Not a gang member. All right, so this is gonna be the last question. I don't wanna have to do a part 3 for y'all, okay? So I'm gonna just cut it here. If y'all wanna hear the rest of the questions, then let me know, and then I will do a part 3, but I don't wanna have to do it to you. Okay, so this is gonna be the last question. And it is from Chilling with LaQuisha J. Sean. All right. How long did it take you to adjust to society? I am still adjusting to society. 2.5 years later. And funny question, did try to get in the shower with your underwear on from being used to washing your clothes in the shower? That's a good way to end it. I have never tried to get in the shower with my underwear on. Now, when I was in prison, the only time I used to shower with my panties on is when I first got to prison, and like they be shower watching. Like, you get in the shower when they be in your stuff like this, like, you know, and I listen, I ain't want to be violated like that. So I used to shower with my underwear on. I didn't shave, you know, down there. I didn't shave at all when I first got to prison because I wanted me a little blanket. Like, I didn't want y'all to be able to see. So that's the only time I shower with my underwear on. And then after I got used to it, then I stopped doing that and I stopped showering with my underwear on. So no, when I came out, I did not get in the shower with panties on. But it is very hard still to see a basket of dirty clothes. Like, I wash once a week, but it's so hard to see that because in prison, you take it off, you wash it. So every single day, whatever shirt, panty, undershirts, bra, pants, socks, thermals, whatever you wear, you wash it when you get in the shower, and you hand wash it. If you want to keep your whites clean and you want your clothes to stay clean, you hand wash it. So it is so hard still to this day. If I see a basket of clothes, it's like, ugh, you know, because I ain't have dirty clothes in prison. Like, it wasn't no laundry bag. My clothes stayed clean. They was either clean or they was wet because I just washed them. So it is hard not to grab that thing, put that soap on in. You know what I'm saying? Put a little elbow grease into it. But when I tell you, I was so happy when I came home that I did not have to hand wash clothes. Y'all don't understand how much elbow grease it takes to wash clothes. I'm talking about every single day, no break. But I did not get in there with underwear on at all. It was hard not to make myself get in the shower with shower slides on. Like, that was hard because I did not want to touch that tub, but I said, we not doing this. You're not in prison no more. Like, you are not in prison anymore, Damon. Like, so I did not do it, but it was so hard because the tub felt so weird. And for people who don't really know, in prison, you have shower slides because you bathe with like 80 other people. You know, at the least, you bathe with 80 other people, and then these are dorms, public, that are been here for years. So you bathing with the same 80 people, but thousands of people don't use this shower, so it's very unsanitary. Okay, and not everybody cleans up behind themselves. All right, we've had people do number ones, number twos, you know, the red flow in the shower, and you get in there, you can see it. You can see used tampons there, you see pads, like you see toilet paper, you see not so clean panties, like you see it all. So you're not getting in the shower barefooted. So they have either Crocs or they have like the little dollar store flip flops that you wear in the shower. So for years, my feet have never touched the bottom of a tub, of a shower, or anything. So when I first came home, I still had that mindset like, oh, this tub is dirty. I don't want my feet to touch it, because I was in a transition house. So I was still with strangers, a smaller set of strangers, you know, but still strangers. And I wanted to get in that shower with those slides on so bad, but I was like, we not doing that. You ain't got to do, we not doing that. So I did not have that problem, but I almost did. But it has been real, you know. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Happy New Year's to y'all. Until next time.